Welcome to Behind the Mic, where we talk to our creators and cultivators in the Mass Communications Department here at Southern University. Today, we have the one and the only Miss Brianna Fields. Brianna, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. Can't complain. Woke up this morning, so just blessed and highly favored.
I love that. So, Bree, when I think about you, I think about a change agent, someone who came to Southern University and you just blazed your own trail. You didn't necessarily do the orthodox thing. You still upheld the tradition in a way, but you did it your own way. But for the people who do not know who Brianna Fields is, can you give a little bit about who you are?
Hello everyone. My name is Brianna Fields, a senior majoring in mass communications with a concentration in public relations and a minor in theater, hailing all the way from the great city of Frisco, Texas. Um, Here at Southern, I founded the Thespian Society, which is the official theater organization for Southern University. I also joined Collegiate 100, which is a organization just based on community service. And then sophomore year, joined Student Government Association as a sophomore justice. And after that, now I currently work for the Department of Communications for Southern University and A&M College under Miss Janine Tate, and as a student social media manager. So that's been going good and doing shows in the theater.
Woo! Okay, girl. So that is a lot. So how do you juggle doing all of that, still maintaining school and outside activities?
I would say that it comes with a lot of like time management.
Mm.
You kind of have to just learn when to like book yourself. I would say being involved in so many things, you can't necessarily be slacking. So just really making a time and plan out for everything.
When I think about what you do here on campus, you create opportunities for others while also creating opportunity for yourself. Can you tell me a little bit about why are you so like community based in that format? Because you could be someone where you're saying, "Hey, I just want to give me. I want to make sure that I'm creating my own opportunities, and I came to college. I'm paying this tuition. My family's backing me. No one else." So when you think about that, why are you so, in touch with making opportunities for others rather than just, a solo thing?
That's a good question. I um I grew up in a home where like I had to like take care of my mom when she had breast cancer. So before she passed away, she always told me to follow my dreams, but at the same time, she was someone who was really big on giving, and I think that's just something that my whole family is really big on giving. So that's why I love to give, because I mean it always comes back. So here at Southern with the opportunities here, I just wanted to create a space because when I came here, I didn't like there was a theater, but there was no theater. And instead of me going to like I got offered a $43,000 scholarship from Oklahoma City University. But I mean I'm paying the same amount I would have been paying there here, but I wanted to go somewhere where I could actually leave it a print, leave a legacy and kind of just foster back to this community because in Louisiana, I have a lot of family from Louisiana. And so I come from Texas, but home is also Louisiana, and I just wanted to. Louisiana needs that. The fine arts needs to be lifted here a little bit more because it's there, but it's like it's not getting a spark that it wasn't getting a spark that it needed. And I just want kids to know that you don't have to just get a scholarship from education or being an athlete. There's so many other scholarships out there for mass comm, for acting, for singing, for dancing, but in the Black environment that we're in, you don't really hear that often. And I feel like we get told, oh, you need to be a doctor, you need to be an officer, you need to be something where someone needs. But it's just like, if that's not feeling your passion every day, then you're going to eventually get tired of it. So I just want my students, I just want my peers and my community around Southern to know that you can you can do what you want to do and still like you can pursue that and as long as you're dreaming it you can do it. So that's what I just really believe in and want to install in my community and my peers around me.
I feel like with you, that really is something that you embody, just adjusting and adapting. Even though you've been at Southern, going on 4 years, it's been a lot of changes since, we first arrived. And I just feel like with everything that's been happening, from maybe it's a tragedy to groundbreaking great news, we constantly have to adjust here at Southern University. How it was last year is not going to be how it is this year.
Right.
And that's just a constant reminder. So when you think about adapting and adjusting from behind the mic, what was some of your challenges or one of your toughest challenges when, throughout your college matriculation, where you still had to figure it out, behind the mic, but, still show up when it was time to show up? You still, perform, you still were reliable, you still were a constant person where people can look at it and say, okay, we can count on Bree, even though you were dealing with your own things.
I feel like that actually just happened to me now. Like one of the biggest times, like right now, that I had to adapt and adjust was when we have It's a Southern Thing, which was initially supposed to be before homecoming. So I'm directing our first musical in over at least 2 decades, which is 20 years and over. And that I was supposed to start. My auditions were initially supposed to be after homecoming, and his show ended up getting pushed back to November 21st through 22nd. So that means that, mind you, I also had flag football and my show. So that kind of changed a lot for me, because now you're saying I have to do a show that was initially supposed to be done before homecoming. I have to continue rehearsing for that show all the way up until November 21st, with my auditions being the week after homecoming. And now I'm trying to juggling directing my show plus being a lead for another show. And it was a lot. It also, comes with sacrificing. You got to pick your poison. So with that, I did have to go ahead and take the initiative, and I still had my auditions, but I waited a little bit before I gave back the cast list. But I just had to make adjustments to my rehearsal schedule, because at the end of the day, I committed to being the lead for another show. So therefore, I still need to give that. I'm someone who gives 1,000% all the time. So therefore, I'm not gonna, even though I wanted to, sometimes like, dang, I don't know if I can juggle both of these. Plus, working for the school, it's a lot of places I have to be. And so, October is a very busy time for us, October and November. So it's just like now managing a show on, like, being in a show while managing a show while still being a student worker, while still having to be in school was a lot,
Yeah.
is a lot. But I'm juggling it, time management, that's when that plays a part, and really communicating with everybody, communicating with your professors, communicating with the directors, communicating with my team, because I have, best believe it or not, we had 80 people, 84 people that signed up to do tech and crew and also acting. So out of those 80, we had 60 people audition. So it's just like, making sure everyone got an email, making sure, like, those are those little things as a director that you have to do, because you don't want anyone to, I never got anything back. So it's like having to juggle people's emotions and feelings and your team plus being a part of another team. So it's all about time management, but that's what I've been going through right now. But it's been working.
Okay. Okay. So one thing you said was communicating. One of my favorite quotes I like to say to people I'm in organizations with, I sit on boards with, is communication can save a nation. And that's so true. If you could communicate to little Brianna, or to a little girl that's looking to go to an HBCU, or she might be at a diverse high school or diverse middle school, and she's still finding her way, still trying to be who she wants to be, but she might be looking up to someone like you, what would you say to her?
The number one thing I would say, which my goddad told me when I was younger, and I live by this, and that's probably explains like my whole. I should have said this earlier, but do what others won't do today, so you can have what others won't tomorrow. So it's like you got to do what others won't do right now, so you can have more later. So I would say kind of go by that, and then also just follow your passion, because at the end of the day, I might stay up till 3 in the morning doing some work, memorizing lines, but best believe it's not a problem for me, because I'm doing what I love. Everything that I'm doing is what I love. And then I'll also say, know your circle. And that's so important, to know your circle. And I'm someone, I'm not gonna say, because some people will tell you have a small circle. It don't matter the size of your circle. It's about who's in the circle, because when you're someone who does network and connect, you meet a lot of people. So I'm not going to say have a small circle, but it's about who's all in that circle. I've had like my friends, my mentors, my professors, everybody who's in my circle are all genuine people that are there to help me. So I would really say it's also about that circle, because you're going to need a community. Like everything that I've been doing has definitely not been by myself, but I've made sure that I've kept the right people around me, because when you have the right people around you, you would succeed, because they're going to help you in ways that you didn't even know you need help in, and they're going to tell you the things that you don't want to hear, but they're going to tell you that, oh Bree, I think you should. I know you've been memorizing your lines for too long, but you know you still got that assignment due at 11:59. I know you're trying to get this done, but go do it. Like those friends, those people that hold you accountable. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. And so when we think about the creators and cultivators, Miss Brianna Fields is definitely one of them. Thank you for tuning in to Behind the Mic. And we want to leave you with this. You don't have to start small, but you do have to start somewhere. Rome wasn't built in a day, but it was built every day. And Miss Brianna Fields, you are building your Rome every day. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for tuning in.